distribution brilliant, go go USA, and sending through. What do these words mean to you? Well, if you're a United States soccer fan, you know exactly what these words mean. If not, here's a little video to help you get acquainted to the importance of these words. Imagine that at the 93rd minute, the team is eliminated. In the blink of an eye, a nation rejoiced, and everything changed with a single event. Well, today I'm here to talk to you about soccer in America. After my career ended, I became a referee, a coach, and an avid follower of the sport. The United States hosting the FIFA World Cup helped kickstart the expansion of soccer in the American culture. First of all, there were several reasons why soccer was almost non-existent before the World Cup. The first is that several leagues were formed, but all of them folded due to financial problems. NASL, or the North American Soccer League, was the most prominent league in the 1970s. According to USSoccerPlayers.com, Clive Toye, the interim president of NASL, was quoted as saying, "In the past 3 years, we have removed the reasons why people have backed us. People said all along that they would back us after the things that we have done. They have not kept their promise, and I, for one, feel let down." The second is that the games simply were not on TV. Americans were not exposed to the game of soccer, so they could not help expand the popularity. Now that I have explained why soccer was almost non-existent before the World Cup, I'll explain why the World Cup was a huge success. So there were several reasons why the World Cup was a huge success. The first, the United States team, they did very well. They ended up going to the round of 16, which was tied for the best finish since 1930. Secondly, the games were on TV. The American people were able to watch the games, and 11 million Americans tuned in to the round of 16 match of the USA versus Brazil. This was an all-time high for soccer in the United States. Alexi Lalas, a former player and current ESPN broadcaster, was quoted in USA Today saying that it provided many people with the opportunity to watch high-level soccer played and the passion that surrounds it. Now that I've explained why the World Cup was a huge success, I will explain why soccer has expanded since the World Cup. The first is that Major League Soccer was founded in 1996 based off of the '94 World Cup success. At first, there were 11 teams, but like I said before, soccer has expanded in the United States and they have 19 teams to this day. They also plan to further expand in the future. The second thing is that league games are now on TV. NBC recently struck a deal to televise 45 regular season MLS games. The MLS commissioner, Don Garber, was quoted in the New York Times saying, "There's a buzz about the sport and there's been great momentum over the past year." The third thing is that average MLS attendance has gone up consistently over the past 4 years. As you can see in this slide, at the bottom, the average MLS attendance has gone up from 2006 to 2010. In 2008 to 2009, the average MLS attendance went down. But that's because, if you remember correctly, the US was in a recession. Many people were simply not going out to games because they did not have the money to do so. In 2010, the average MLS attendance was at 16,600. At the time, this was the highest average attendance that the MLS has ever had. Let me end by saying that before the 1994 FIFA World Cup, soccer was not a prominent sport in America. Thanks to the 94 World Cup, that World Cup was the most successful international sporting event that the United States has ever held. And thirdly, soccer keeps expanding in the United States. The number one sports thing for students to interact in is soccer. More and more kids are getting involved in recreation leagues. The United States hosted the World Cup, and it helped kickstart the expansion of soccer in the American culture. In 1994, America was introduced to a new sport, a sport called the beautiful game. Thank you.